You are Locked On Hurricanes POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, what is up, Miami Hurricane fans? Welcome to your Locked On Canes postcast on your Saturday, and who cares what date it is? Who cares what's happening right now other than the fact that the season has just been completely derailed by incompetent coaching in Atlanta. And there we have it. That's exactly what just happened as the Canes bubble gets burst. They are knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten. They are now 9-1. 28-23, they fall to Georgia Tech in a game they should have won 100 times, 100 different ways. A couple of things really went against them. An injury early in the game, and then a terrible ejection, and just an awful officiating crew. I mean, a Pop Warner game would have thrown these guys out. Just terrible. Absolutely bad. But you have to win these games, and the University of Miami didn't. It's your Locked On Canes postcast, so now 9-1, and who knows what in the world is going to happen now. I mean, the automatic bid is not definitely gone. We're going to try to unpack a little bit of this and try to tell you what might happen next. And I know Alex Dono with Locked On Canes will be here day in and day out to do that as well. But as of right now, man, it's just a bad look for the University of Miami. There's so much I want to say, so much I want to do here on this show. And I can't even get, where's the bottom of this? I'm stunned, guys. I'm stunned that we lost this game. I can't believe that today's the day everything caught up with us. That team is not good. Georgia Tech is not a good football team. They're not a good football team at all, as a matter of fact. They are not a good football team at all. And we just got worked and run off the field, literally. The ball run down our throats the whole night, and just not a good football team at all. Like, I'm not giving Georgia Tech any credit at all. I'm not giving Georgia Tech any credit at all, because that game right there, trying to send this to Alex, this link to Alex right here. That game right there was lost by the University of Miami coaching staff. It was not won by Georgia Tech. So to me, if you want to give another team credit, you give another team credit when they beat you. Well, Georgia Tech did not beat the University of Miami today. The University of Miami Hurricanes beat themselves, and specifically the University of Miami Hurricanes coaching staff got the team beat, in my opinion. In my opinion, the play calling on offense was god-awful. The defense, 2 third and longs, and you let them be wide open. Nobody anywhere near the vicinity. It's just bad coaching all the way across the board. Now, obviously, the players play, and I defended Mario Cristobal all year long. I defended the coaching staff all year long. It's what I've done. You know, the play against Georgia Tech last year, maybe he just can't coach against Georgia Tech. I don't know. But the 2 4th downs in the red zone, 4th and 3, you don't kick the field goal and you don't pick up the first down. They would not run it on a 4th and 1. They didn't want to run the ball at all today. They would not run the ball. So what I'm thinking is right now, these coaches have a lot to answer for, because there's a whole team full of kids who are about to fly back to Miami who you really just let down. And you cost the university millions of dollars potentially. And it didn't have to go this way. Run the football. And literally, if I have to see another receiver wide open on a 3rd and 18 or a 3rd and 10, I'm going to lose my mind. So the coaches blew this game completely. They ruined the season for the kids. God-awful coaching performance by the University of Miami, top to bottom, up and down today. But don't take my word for it, and I don't know what he has to say about this game, but the run defense was terrible. Cam Ward was average. The offensive line all of a sudden couldn't protect him against a team that couldn't get to the quarterback all year long, and the coaches got taken they couldn't have coached the playground in elementary school today. All right, let's welcome in Alex Dono, our host of Locked On Canes day in and day out, and well, all that talk, Alex, that we did about in-game coaching this year and all the grace that we gave, as far as I'm concerned, that's all out the window right now. That was about as bad a coaching performance as I've seen from a head coach and from 2 coordinators since I used to cover elementary school football when I started my career.
Yeah, and it was an ugly combination of things, right? I mean, you have poor execution, poor formations and coverages on important plays. You mentioned, 3rd downs and long, 3rd and 18, they gave up a big 3rd and 9, a big 3rd and 8. Like, you gave up so many yards to a team that was completely one-dimensional. Like, they hit a couple of big passing plays on 3rd down, but Georgia Tech passed for 99 yards in this game. That was all on the ground. 271 yards given up
Took your
against
man card.
against an offense that was at one-dimensional. And then also you had, situational coaching. Like obviously nothing stands out as much as like not taking a knee or whatever, but opportunities to go for points and leaving points on the field. I thought that Miami was too greedy. The decision by Mario going back to the first half when they were down 14-10, had an opportunity to kick a field goal. Not only did they go for the fourth down, but didn't call a good play on the fourth down. You turned it over on downs when you could have made it 14-13. I was questioning the decision to go for a 2-point conversion that they did not get, and another decision not to go for a field goal, later in the game. You left a lot of points on the board. It felt unnecessary. So this was really just, I felt like this loss was a combination of a lot of things that have gone wrong in previous games, but you didn't have the magic to cancel it out, right? Like ultimately in situations where Cam Ward usually leads a touchdown drive, instead he's pressured and he fumbles to end the game, right? Last week when Miami needed a comeback against Duke, they forced 3 turnovers in the second half, 4 for the game. Couldn't force a single turnover today. And unfortunately, it was a turnover that went against you that iced the game for Georgia Tech. So this is a hard lesson for Miami. And I know that for any Miami fan, the next several days are not going to be fun because you're going to have a lot of people in your mentions about how, hey, you guys were terrible all season long. It finally caught up to you. I don't care about any of that at this point. What just happened today, I need to see how they bounce back from this. Like, you still have an opportunity to play in an ACC championship game. And if you can win that, you won't win it playing like you played today, but you still have an opportunity to cap off a special season. I do not want to waste the season of Cam Ward by not turning this into something special, but Miami needs to bounce back from this. They cannot allow this to create a spiral. And Jim, I'm gonna run, and no, I will not be crying. I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be stewing about this for a while. You have a great rest of your postcasts, and I'm looking forward to hearing what Cristobal says after this.
Yeah, me too. I don't even deserve to go on the plane home. How about that? Or at least my coordinators don't. Thanks, Alex. Have fun on WQAM.
Thank you.
All right. Alex Dono right here, Locked On Canes postcast. He's the host of Locked On Canes day in and day out. The bubbles burst right now, but like Alex says, guys, there's still a shot. And right now it's tough. It's in the moment. We're upset. We're not happy. I mean, that was a bad job of coaching. What else am I supposed to say? It's my job to tell it like it is. And I just did not see a prepared team. I did not see a team that was ready. And like Alex says, a one-dimensional Georgia Tech team. They couldn't throw the ball at all until it's 3rd and 18 or 3rd and 10, and someone's wide open. How in the world, Guidry, are 2 guys wide open like that on a 3rd and 18 and a 3rd and 10? 2 times, Guidry, 2 times. You're the defensive coordinator, 2 times. What did you coordinate today? What did you do? What were you ready for on defense? Now, I'm not here to just throw stones at people. I'm not here to just attack anyone, but clearly the coaches lost the game for the Miami Hurricanes today. Even though they don't play, the players have to play. But the decision for Mario Cristobal, and we will go through some of these things in a little bit more concise order in the second segment of the show. We'll take you through some of the what-ifs today, some of the big misses. I mean, 4th and 1, you throw the ball. You don't even run it. Where was Damian Martinez? All those weeks in a row, the run game had been building. The run game had been getting stronger. The offensive line wants to go out there and match these guys. Run for run. Get in there and pound it, Mario. You're an offensive lineman. What are you doing, Dawson? Instead of Dawson's Creek, you're up you-know-what's Creek. What are you doing? Guidry and Dawson, what are they doing? What are they doing? I mean, look, you lost Barrow earlier in the game, and that was a big loss. Losing Barrow, huge in the middle. And then later in the game, the targeting when they threw out Moten, that was awful. And the defense seemed to really be the team. Everybody seemed to be really galvanized and fired up after that. Then you hold them. It's 3rd and 18. You give up the big pass play wide open to Stockton. I mean, this is a basic route coming across the middle of your defense with 11 guys on the field, 20 yards you need for the first down. He's at the first down markers. At the markers. If nothing else, you're taught, at least by good defensive coaches, you're taught, play the markers. Play the marker. Do not let them anywhere near that marker. Do not let them catch the ball anywhere near that marker. You're playing like it's prevent defense. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You, defensive coaches, what are you doing? And that target, man, it was a face mask and he got spun around. He wasn't leading, trying to hurt him, man. It's football. They're going to be wearing dresses before too long out there. I mean, just see what color makeup goes with their uniforms. I mean, that's where we're headed, right? I mean, everyone's like, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT. You couldn't touch him for the last 15 years of his career. Let him play when Montana played, when Young played, when Bob Greasy and Dan Marino played. You could actually hit people on a football field. The targeting call, look, I'm not sitting here saying the University of Miami Hurricanes are world beaters this year. I'm not sitting here saying it's the best team in the country. We know we've barely been getting by. We know they're the cardiac Canes. We know that the luck would eventually run out if they weren't prepared better, if they didn't execute better. Still no special teams touchdown. This team fired their special teams coordinator. This week, they had a bye. They fired him during the bye. They're coming off 2 consecutive losses. Their quarterback's been out with a bad shoulder. You let these guys come in with no threat of the passing game and just decimate you, man. Every single coach on that staff should be 100% ashamed of themselves right now because the players deserved better in this game. They deserve so much better in this game. And I'm sure if they heard me talking right now, they'd defend their coaches as they should. They have no choice. They're on the plane with them. I'm not. This is your Locked On Canes postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Like we said, up top, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. And you know how much I love FanDuel, especially you everydayers. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Also want to remind you that we really love you, and we want to thank you for making Locked On Canes postcast your first listen every day. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every single day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, man. Let them have it, guys. This is bad. 28-23, Georgia Tech beats Miami. I said it. I'm going to repeat it. 28-23, the Miami coaches beat Miami against Georgia Tech. How about that? We'll say that a better way. 28-23, the Miami coaches lose the game for the Miami players against Georgia Tech. 28-23. Yeah, you get the point. Anyway, it's Locked On Canes postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. And this is when you're lucky you're not on a flagship and I can say what's actually true instead of what the school tells you to say because of their sponsors that are on their radio networks when when you listen to those shows. And this is the good point about doing this. It's Locked On Canes postcast, if there is a good point today. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _. Look at Mario's face there. Nothing he did work today. I don't know if he ever expected any of it to work. I don't know that anybody. Anyway, we'll be continuing on, and we'll get into some of these moves on the other side. Because we need to tell you about LinkedIn Jobs, and I love LinkedIn Jobs. I mean, you get a little bit spoiled with LinkedIn. You sure do. And I'll tell you why right now. If you own a business, a small business, and you're hiring, you want to find quality pros who are right for the role, right? That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users do not visit other leading job sites. So that means if you're looking anywhere but LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. They cannot be wrong. They're constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They have a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, there you have it on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. LinkedIn Jobs doing a great job for you, and the Hurricanes with a tough loss today. All right, let's settle down a bit and get into the nuts and bolts of this game. And I know that you guys are going to have a lot of questions. You can hit me up in the chat as well. But the coaching staff blew this game. It's very clear. Yeah, Lance Guidry should be tell Lance Guidry to apply to LinkedIn. I mean, I'm about saying that. How about kicking a field goal and an extra point, left 7 points on the field? Well, earlier in the game, you don't go kick the field goal. You go for it on 4th and short. And when you go for it on 4th and short in a scenario, it's 4th and 3, right? You throw the ball, you don't get it, you leave the points on the field. It would have been 14-13 headed toward halftime. You leave those there. That means later in the game, you have to go for it on 4th and forever when you could have kicked the field goal. And you also had to go for 2 when you could have gone for 1. So, yeah, that was really, really brutal. That whole scenario, the defense never made an adjustment. They never figured it out. They need a big-time defensive coordinator, guys. Maybe Cam Ward bringing all this attention. Maybe Cam Ward bringing all this NIL money. Maybe Cam Ward bringing all these wins and all these things to Mario Cristobal's lucky little lap. Maybe that'll help him attract an actual defensive coordinator. And we are really getting a gift from the football gods to have a guy like Cam Ward this year. The defense has been showing their weakness all season. I'm reading out of the chat right now. Fire Guidry. Yeah, Georgia Tech. Man, it is what it is. Yeah, call it what it is. You're right, James. There's no positive talk. Lance Guidry has to go. That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassing. Georgia Tech is not a good team. I repeat, I'm going to say it again. Georgia Tech is not a good team. They're not even a decent team. They are a terrible football team. They cannot throw the football. We just lost to a team that can't throw the football. All right, so here we go. Let's look at some of this, all right? Let's look at Cam Ward fumbles, obviously, late in the game, and he was holding on to the ball so long tonight. I mean, no one could get open against Georgia Tech in their weak secondary, and their weak pass rush is getting pressure on Cam Ward, and man, what a crazy, crazy thing to have happen there. And I'll tell you what, they ran out of second-half comebacks today. Yes, they did. Fans rushed the field. They toppled the goalpost like they just won for the first time in 100 years, because that's what it feels like when you're Georgia Tech and you stink so bad. 347 yards passing and 3 touchdowns from Ward, but the fumble late. Miami was ready for the first 10-0 start since 2017. They ended a 2-game losing streak. Georgia Tech, man, 9 straight games we win. And then, open receivers throughout the first half, and Cam was just missing him. You saw the first slant to Horton that gave you the touchdown, and you're thinking this is going to be taking candy from a baby. Cam was throwing wide. He was throwing high. Wide open guys throughout the game, and he wasn't hitting them. Miami should have won this game by 30 points. They were that bad. They were that bad today, and the coaches gave them no fire, no direction, no hope. They didn't even try with the running game. I mean, it doesn't even compute in my mind right now. 3 fourth down stops for Georgia Tech. 2 of them, one of them in the red zone, right? One right outside the red zone. One in the first half where they don't kick the field goal on a 4th and 3, later on the 4th and long. But it just was unbelievable. And then 4th and 1 from the Georgia Tech 39 on the opening drive in the second half. They're throwing the ball. Run the damn ball, Mario. You're an offensive lineman. The running game's been going great. Georgia Tech stuffing it down your throat. And instead of trying to give your offensive line that lunch pail and say, hey, go get them, boys, go mano a mano, and let's show them which team is the better running team, he leaves it in Cam Ward's hands all day, and he's missing receivers all day long. 4th and 1, he doesn't even run the ball. Not even running the ball. It's Georgia Tech's first win over a top 5 team since they beat number 4 Virginia in 2009. And you remember those Virginia teams. And, yeah, they're going to drop a lot in the polls, Miami. They have an off week, and they're going to play Wake Forest. And this could be where the season goes off the cliff, or they could galvanize and get back together and start playing some football like we know they're capable of playing. But that was not it today. That was not it today, man. And I know we got a lot to do still here on the show. And I'm just literally, I'm thinking about, Cam has all day to throw the early 74-yard touchdown pass, but Georgia Tech just gashing Miami. They hit their season average in rushing yards over it, 170 plus in the first half. And you're thinking, hey, we're a second half team. We'll be all right. 21-10, 6:46 left in the third. The number 1 offense in the country did not look like it at all today. So then we score. Beautiful throw to Elijah Arroyo for the TD in the end zone. And you wish you had that field goal now, because it's 21-17. Could have been 21-20. Could have been 21-20. 4th and 3, you don't go for it. You kick the field goal, Mario. You kick that. You have soiled yourself so badly 2 years in a row against Georgia Tech. I don't even know what to say anymore. I like Mario Cristobal, but my job is to tell you what happened in this game. And what happened in this game is Georgia Tech's coaching staff took Miami's coaching staff to school behind the woodshed and spanked them. Whatever you want to call it, that's what happened in this game. I've been watching football for 45 years. I've been a professional doing this for 30 plus. You guys know, I know, we got out coached. We got out executed. We got out outclassed. We got outperformed. We got outsmarted. 7.8 yards per rush in the first half for Georgia Tech. We get a kid ejected for a target. Bad officiating. They missed a couple of big-time pass interference calls against our receivers down the field. But, hey, the refs didn't, and any of the coaches helped with this, but the players let them do it. 9 plays, 75 yards, and a 3rd and 18. A 3rd and 18. And Moton gets thrown out of the game. It's unbelievable, man. It's really unbelievable. It's the worst officials I've seen from the ACC, but they were equally bad for both sides. But tell me you didn't think with 6:07 left, they get the TD pass to X, and I'm thinking you better onside kick it because this defense ain't stopping anybody. Then they get the 3 and out, and our offense can't do it again. We get stopped in the red zone. You know what I mean? It just is unbelievable. It's crazy to see that they just have blank stares on their faces on the sideline. They have blank stares on their faces. We're going to hit the stats. We're going to hit the team stats as well as the box score. You're going to get your player of the game, maybe not a hurricane today because no one deserves it. You're going to get the turning point, which is literally when Mario Cristobal, I don't even want to keep going on that. And then the final score graphic. This is Locked On Canes Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. The dream is over. Or is it? We'll talk about that on the other side. Bad loss, but let's not say all is lost, all right? Not yet. But if this defense plays like that again against anyone, I'm amazed they stopped anyone all year. But we'll pick up on that on the other side. Locked On Canes Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And I get a chance to tell you about Robinhood. Actually, we'll do FanDuel first. Nope, we got to do Robinhood first. Sorry about that, guys. Robinhood, because it ain't all good. That's an Ice Cube song. You know something, Robin. You know something, Robin. Robinhood, because it ain't all good. It is with Robinhood. It ain't all good with the Canes. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.5% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. That's simple. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit Robinhood Gold. Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. That's Robinhood.com/gold. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. And our show today is also brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action tomorrow and Monday with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, numero uno, because right now, new customers can bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL, all in one place. Check it out. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Mario, wherefore art thou, Mario? Good. I mean, look at him. There he is right there, Canes fans. We love Mario Cristobal. We do. He was a great player here. He's a great coach who came back and came home, and we might have been really screwed without him. The recruiting is amazing, but you know what I'm saying, man? It's like when Herm Edwards was at Arizona State. You don't hire Herm Edwards for institutional control. Maybe you don't hire Mario Cristobal to run and execute a game because he doesn't know what he's doing. This is the second year in a row against Georgia Tech, guys, and I know I'm going to get heat for this. All the homers, like the guys who, whatever, work for the school, oh, it's not fair. You know, they always do that. They have to. It's in their contracts, or at least it's unspoken. So the difference is you'll get the real talk here with Locked On, like you do every day with Locked On Canes with Alex Dono. I love Mario. Okay, I'm a little emotional. I'm in the moment. He got badly outcoached today. I don't even care who Georgia Tech's coaches are. I don't care who their coordinators are. They're Georgia Tech. I don't care anything about them except they were allowed to beat us. It's like our coaches game planned for them. How do you not make adjustments to the run game? How do you not make adjustments to the run game? You know what I'm saying? And the offense, I'd rather have the offense on the field down with a chance to win than the defense on the field trying to protect a lead. I'll tell you that anytime. But he's a bad matchup for Mario against Georgia Tech 2 years in a row. And I'll tell you what, man, it's just, oh man, you're not even changing the defensive schemes. You're not even making adjustments in the game. They lose their top running back in the beginning of the game who runs right down your throat, and they go score on 4 plays. He gets hurt. It doesn't matter who they bring in. Backup running backs, backup quarterbacks. Are you kidding me? A number 5 receiver catching the 3rd and 18 ball wide open with nobody near him at the first down marker. And there's nobody there within 18 yards at the first down marker in the middle of the field. Are you kidding me? Anybody who thinks I'm being too hard on the coaches, go ask any Pop Warner coach what happens on 3rd and 18 and what the first thing you tell your kids is. Number 1, no stupid penalties. Number 2, and number 1 goes without saying, come on. And number 2, yeah, and what they do on both, they get a face mask, they get a target on the same drive. I mean, just grabbing face masks, lazy, uninspired play today from the players. The coaches did not have them ready. Cam was erratic. He was missing guys. And, you know, I'm not going to go too crazy here, but this was a horrible, horrible loss, Miami. This is one of the worst losses we've ever had. For a team like this and a quarterback like that, 25 of 39, 348, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Cam Ward might still be a lock for the Heisman, but he missed a lot of balls today. And there were some bad no calls on pass interferences and holds that were down the field that should have been called against our guys, but they had a couple too. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Damian Martinez gets 15 carries, 81 yards, 24 carries, 88 yards. Fletcher 4 for 12. Where's Damian Martinez? Where's that 7-8 yards per carry? Why are you only running the football 24 times, Mario? Why? Why, Dawson? Why? 4th and 1, you don't run it. How about a couple of runs on first down? How about, here's 2 words for you. Play action. How about that? Where's the running game? It had been going so well. You let them run the ball down our throats the whole game, and you didn't even give our offensive line a chance to respond. You left them in pass pro, and you let those guys pin their ears back. You made our offense one-dimensional. Their offense was already one-dimensional, and you couldn't win a one-dimensional football game. As a staff at the University of Miami, a top 5 team with some of the best recruits in the nation coming in. I wouldn't let those guys on the plane. Jacoby George played a good game, 7 for 88. He caught. Arroyo was open a couple times. Cam missed him. He had 3 for 82 and a touchdown. Same for Restrepo. A couple of bad misses there, 4 for 78 and a TD. Horton, 5 for 37 and a TD. Looking at the stats, you think, oh, Cam and the Canes balled out. They didn't score an offensive touchdown. They didn't score a touchdown, period, until late in the third quarter, or not late in the third quarter, but the third quarter after the opening drive. That play was so easy. The slant to who was it? Was that one? It was Arroyo. That one, yeah, the first one. The slant took the house, 74 yards, 2 plays, answer right back. But the defense just couldn't get it going, so they couldn't stop them. And you know, obviously Barrow goes out, and then Moten later in the game, but when you can't stop the run and you're getting, I mean, that literally is like walking into a room and having a bigger dude come up to you and slap you in the face and say, what are you going to do about it, bitch? What are you going to do about it? And you do nothing. And he does it again. And he says, what are you going to do about it? And you do nothing. And he does it again. And you do nothing. And he does it again. And you're scrambling around trying to dink and dunk and throw the ball. Run it back down his throat. Run it back down his throat and show him who the heck you are. Why did we not do that? Why? I do not understand why we did not do that. So before I go too crazy here and get too carried away in the emotion of the situation, you know, I mean, we had some kids on defense hitting hard today. I just think they got let down by the scheme. The misdirections, the little trick plays here and there, they got worked. And if they would have kicked that field goal, they could have kicked the second field goal, never would have had it gone for 2. That's 7 more points. We lost by 5. Hello, geniuses. Hello. We lost by 5. All right, so I'm done with that. I'm done with the ranting. Again, I don't work for the school, and I don't work for the flagship radio station, and you'll hear all those guys defending, and they'll be ripping on guys like me for saying things I shouldn't say. Well, bull crap. You know, if you weren't working for the school, you'd say the same thing. You'd say the exact same thing right now. The defensive line got decimated today with Barrow and Moten for sure. Moten was playing well. But, yeah, I mean, it's one thing with Miami. They don't think you're going to run the ball. and you proved them right today. And you should have been. I believe if they made a little bit of a commitment to the running game today, we're not having this conversation. Even without the defensive adjustments, we're sitting here panicking right now because I'll tell you what, right now, Texas was going to pass us anyway. And the way this defense played today, you don't want to be in the playoff. You don't want to be in the ACC championship game with this defense and get embarrassed like that in a playoff game and lose 56 or 80 or 100 against Texas or Georgia. I mean, they'll score 100 points on this team if Georgia Tech did what they did today on the ground. They had no pride, no will, no grit, no desire to stop that run. And that's what football players will tell you. That's not me, right? That's football players telling you when you get the ball run down your throat like that and you don't do it back, you got manned. You got bodied. You got slayed today, Miami Hurricanes. You did. I mean, that you had 5 more first downs. You're 3 for 10 on 3rd down and 1 for 4 on 4th down. That's terrible. Most of that is play calling. Dawson and Guidry, and oh my Lord, and both sides of the ball. More yards than them, way more passing yards than them. And here is where the game was totally lost by Miami and dominated by Georgia Tech. 271 to 88 yards rushing, 5.6 per carry to 3.7. And of course, the turnovers wasn't a big deal. The one fumble late, but the time of possession, Georgia Tech had it for 10 more minutes. It literally was man on man, run the ball down your throat. Then you picked up the 2 huge 3rd down conversions, and Cam Ward was all over the place. Miami with bad play calls. They missed on 4th downs. They missed 3rd downs, and, you're not going to win your games when you do that. So with the end of the show rapidly approaching, I want to tell you not to jump off a cliff, but I might do it with you at this point. I don't know what else to tell you. I'll leave it for the rah-rah guys who work for the team. Go ahead, tell them all the positives, guys. Line them up. Can't wait to hear all that. Can't wait to hear all those silver linings and see through those rose-colored glasses, because there are no silver linings and there are no rose-colored glasses. We got outplayed. We got outcoached horribly, and those coaches have a lot of explaining to do. So if any of those media members in that room have any guts this week, grill those guys and ask them what the heck they're doing, because it is not coaching winning football. It's not coaching winning football. That's how I saw this game. You lose 28-23 to a team that doesn't even hardly belong on the same field as you, in a conference you never should have been in. Thank you, Donna Shalala and Tad Foote and everybody else who screwed up this program. Wake Forest and Syracuse, 2 more games after the bye, can still win those, hit the championship game. I don't know the specifics. Alex will have them on Locked On Canes. The rose-colored glasses guys will have them all over the place this week. But this was a bad performance. Haynes King, 28 points for Georgia Tech. They can't score without him. He came back this week, and they worked your Miami Hurricanes. Just a terrible job by the coaching staff in this game. The defensive coaches did not adjust and stop the run at all after it was stuffed down our throats in the first half. Sell out, put everybody in the box if you have to. They can't beat your corners or your safeties. You could have 3 DBs and beat this team. Stuff the damn box. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, my God, it makes me so mad, Guidry. And then the offense. Run the ball, man. Hugo Martinez is a beast. He's good out of the backfield. No originality in their play calling. I love their passing game. Don't get me wrong, but that's all Cam Ward. We'd have 5 losses if not for that kid. Our coaching staff has a lot of work to do. You're bringing in the best recruits. Cam Ward's put us in the spotlight again, and these coaches are going to blow it. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _ one more time through the comments before we bounce on out of here. See what we got. Same old crap on defense. I don't understand why I didn't kick the field goal in the first quarter. Yeah, I kicked all day against LSU. 4 points make a huge difference in how Tech plays the game. Yeah, I think Guidry has to be fired. Thank you, James Potager. I am on point. I'm not one of those rah-rah, look at me, I work for the school. I went to the school. I love the school. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell it like it is, because our fan base deserves better. The recruits are thinking of coming here, deserve better coaches than the ones we have right now, at least the coordinators. If Mario gets rock star coordinators, I love him. If he doesn't, he's got to go too, because he's not strong enough as a head coach to not have rock star coordinators, at least not now. At least not now, And I don't want to get into things about, the past or whatever, but 2 years in a row, he got badly exposed against Georgia Tech. You play with fire and you're going to get burned, says James. And I think I'm saying it right. Potager or Potager, whatever it is. James, you play with fire and you're going to get burned. Make sure you check out Locked On Canes all week with Alex Dono. Man, I'm. This is the football version of suicide watch right now, guys. This is awful. I'm not doing the star of the game or the turning point of the game. There was no star of the game. I don't care what Cam's numbers were. He missed a ton of open receivers today, held the ball for way too long, fumbled it, took sacks. He's human, still played a great game, but no star of the game today for Miami. And the turning point of the game was when Miami's coaches decided to make no adjustments. You could pick any of them. And then, of course, the final score is irrelevant, really, to me. Does it even matter? Does it even matter at this point? 28-23. It does not matter. That's all there is, Canes fans. There is no more Locked On Canes postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Happy to have you here. Venting for sure, but telling it like it is, man. Keep coming back here for myself and Alex, because you don't always just want the rah-rah, sis boom ba. Oh, really? Tell us how great you are. No. There's nothing great about this game today. There's nothing to take from this game today. This was a horrible, horrible loss that should never have happened. Look in the mirror, Mario, Guidry, Dawson. Look in the mirror, man. Make adjustments. You're supposed to be big-time coaches. It's been Locked On Canes postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. 28-23 Georgia Tech. Thank you so much for being here and making Locked On Canes postcast your first listen. For your second one, check out Locked On ACC, although they'll just be talking about this game. Alex Dono and Kenton Gibbs keep it real, bring you the truth about where your favorite ACC team stands within the conference. Find Locked On ACC or YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm going to go drink heavily and bury and drown my sorrows as much as I can after this pathetic excuse for performance today that has put a big monkey wrench in our plans and derailed our season. Can they get it back? In 2 weeks, they play Wake Forest. This bye week better be hellfire and brimstone in practice, and Mario better call those coaches out and hold them accountable. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Miami. I'm out.